Good morning, friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today is a very exciting day because we are going to be adding the first plants into the front porch landscape redesign. Even Brenna is so excited about it. She's in Johnny. She's over here yipping and yapping because she is so excited about it. So what we're going to do is we have got some trees and shrubs that we're going to be adding to this space. Fall is the perfect time to be doing this project because we're getting more consistent rain. The temperatures are cooling down. You'll notice I'm in long sleeve and blue jeans today. And so these roots have plenty of time to get established before the heat of the summer hits. So what we're going to do is do just really quick here in the beginning. I am going to share with you the plants that we are going to be adding, give you all the specs in case you're interested in adding them to your garden, show you the space, and show you give you a rundown of today's project plan. So first things first, let's talk about the plants because I have got 3 of them here with me, right beside of me. So exciting. So first of all, we've talked about this one quite a few times. This is the Kodiak Orange Durvilla from Proven Winners. This is a native shrub. It is deciduous, but it is going to give us gorgeous color for those 3 seasons out of the year. Now, Kodiak Orange Durvilla is going to be hardy in zones 4 to 7. And you may say, well, Jenny, you are a zone 8A. What in the world are you doing, woman? Well, what we're going to do is, because this space gets really good morning sun, and then in the afternoon, it's going to be in the shade. So it will be just fine, I promise. And so this will be 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, and it is rated for full sun to part shade, which is perfect for my area. Like I said, it's native, colorful foliage. It gives me beautiful yellow flowers on this gorgeous color of this Durvilla. So that is going to be fun because in this space, I am just going for colors and textures and interest for 4 seasons out of the year. That is my goal. So we have got the Kodiak Orange Durvilla. Next, this might be a little harder to see because the sun, but here we have, look at that, y'all. She's tall, she's skinny, she's gorgeous. The Electra Blue Deodar Cedar. Now, this is in a 15-gallon. And the Electra Blue Deodar Cedar is going to be a blue cedar. Now, where I am in North Carolina, with my heat and humidity, it can be very challenging to have blue conifers. The blues and the chartreuses are the hardest for us because of that heat and humidity. They just tend to not like it. Electra Blue, however, is going to be one of the absolute most heat and humidity tolerant deodar cedars. So that is great. Also, Electra Blue is like the most compact electric, like the blue cedar, right? I want to say it was like 8 feet tall within like 10 years. So it is a slow grower. We're going to put it on the front, kind of on the corner of the house, not up against the house, but kind of in that general area. So that's going to give us really great year-round interest with that blue. So we have got the Electra Blue. Then, if you have been watching us, you know that I picked up this cutie patootie at our friend Stowe's nursery. This is the Colorado Blue Spruce. Now, it is in the bucket, so it's a little high, but this little guy is going to be a 3x3. So this is, like I said, that dwarf Colorado Blue Spruce, the Glauca globosa. Beautiful waxy blue needles, and this is a full sun to part shade. Again, if I can't really put this out in the full sun because it could not do well for me with my growing conditions here that I have absolutely no control over. So what we're going to do is we're going to place this in a spot. Again, it'll get 6 hours of morning sun and then it goes straight into the shade in the hot afternoon. Perfect conditions, and I love that it's a 3x3 because it's nice and short and compact, and I have the perfect space for it to go. Now we're going to take a little walk because the 4th shrub that for sure we're adding today is Paisley Pup. Paisley Pup, oh my gosh, y'all. This is such a fantastic, gorgeous evergreen shrub. It is a dog hobble or a lycothe. Another native shrub, and this, y'all, look at this. Currently, she is in a container, right? So I have had her in this container for over a year. She has done so incredibly well. You get this beautiful color on her. The older leaves are nice green. I don't know if you can see that, but they're a nice green. Then you have the variegation of the cream and the green. And then look, can you see the new leaves? They're pink, so they've got those shades of pink on them. Now, I have no doubt that Paisley Pup is going to do really well because this container has sat right here on this corner for over a year, and it clearly has done really, really well. We're going to plant her like right there. She's going to move about 6 feet over and will do really well. Again, the Paisley Pup, that native evergreen shrub, basically it's going to be like a 4x4. And so we're going to put it on this corner to kind of anchor the corner of this landscape. So those are the plants. I might have 2 additional hydrangeas that go in. We're going to see how the project goes today and how fast this goes. So if we're moving along and everything's going great, we'll go ahead and add those 2 hydrangeas. When we get to that point, I'll let you know. If we don't get to it today, we're going to add them later. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Now, as you can see, our soil here is, you know, it's not the primo kind of soil because of course we have native red soil here. This is actually fill dirt that Jerry brought in from another piece of part of the property because we wanted to build this up. Remember, this was all grass. So we did not kill the grass. We had, wherever you see those little green flags, that is where the French drain is. That is for us to remember not to plant a 15-gallon shrub right on top of there because we're going to go through our French drain. So we had to trench all that, so that dug it up, and then because we brought in so much fill dirt, we just put it on top of the grass. So we mowed the grass down really, really low and then put this on top. Now, we do have fescue. So fescue is not a running grass. If you have Bermuda, Zoysia, centipede, you're probably going to want to kill that before you do this. Otherwise, it's going to come straight up through your soil. With fescue, we don't have to worry about it. So there you go. So what we're going to do is, because while this soil is, I mean, there's definitely worse soil out there, but we need to add organic matter. Adding organic matter to your soil is a massive, massive helper in the garden. It is not the most glamorous part of gardening, but it is so incredibly vital. So what we are going to do is we have a pallet of land and sea compost. We are going to take that and we are going to top dress, so literally cover all of this soil with land and sea, because everything that you see right here is going to be a planting area. We're going to top dress, so that means we're simply going to lay it down nice and thick. Then as we are planting our plants and using the augers or the shovels or whatever it is that we're using, all of that great compost is going to get mixed in to our native soil. So we have been using land and sea off and on for years, and it makes a massive difference because of course this is contains that lobster and crab meal. It has pine bark in there, so it brings aeration and nutrition to my soil, which is what I want. So we're going to be using that, and then of course we have got our biotone. We do not plant anything here at Creekside without biotone. It is that perfect starter fertilizer with that mycorrhiza in it that opens up those roots to the oxygen and the nutrients, and those plants can just get really well established. Those roots are happy, get growing, and it is an absolute game changer for us in the garden. So I think what we're going to do first, I guess, is because Jerry kind of came through, we've had a couple of days of some good heavy rain, like storms that have come through, which has been a blessing. But then of course that turns the fill dirt into like a sticky mess. So I'm sure we're going to get nice and muddy today. So I'm thinking the first thing we're going to do is lay out all of the land and sea, and then we'll take it from there. All right, see you in a little bit. My friends, we are making some great progress. We have got all of the land and seed spread out. Well, the whole area has been covered in land and seed. We still have some bags that we're going to use to top dress once we get these shrubs and trees in the ground. So kind of give you an idea of what the plant placement looks like. Jerry is getting the Electra Blue. Isn't she cute? Love that plant. So he is getting that one moved for us. I'm gonna put that kind of here on the corner. So we'll let him get that one placed. Now, y'all, before I show you where these trees, shrubs are going, I want you to listen carefully to me. There are only about 5 of the current perennials, shrubs in this bed that are staying in their location. Everything else is going to get moved, okay? So just keep that in mind when I'm telling you and explaining why the plants are going where they are. And I will say who's staying and who gets to be moved. Okay, so first of all, you can see that Paisley Pup is already in the shade. It may be noon right now, I'm not sure. And so Paisley Pup is here in the corner. You can see it'll already be in the shade, which is what she was used to be happening when she was here on this corner. Now, Paisley Pup can be like a 3 to 4 tall and wide, and then of course you've got your zebra hydrangea right here. And then zebra, what's gonna happen is they're gonna kiss each other. I may want to, ideally, if I could have moved it maybe forward a little bit more, then maybe I would have, but you can see my green line is right here. So that means this is where the French drain is, so I can't go any further. So that'll be good. Again, this will kind of anchor it and kind of fill in this area so it'll somewhat kind of hide from the driveway side, the new pad here. So the zebra is staying. Annette's holly fern is staying, which is a nice evergreen. Aurelia Sun King is staying. And then my white by the gate camellia is staying. Everything else is going to either get dug up, moved, thinned out, rearranged, everything. So all these hostas that you see back here, maybe 1 or 2 of them stay because maybe they're in a good location. But I know like my golden tiaras, they're gonna get taken out. And maybe 1 of them stays, but maybe I move it forward. So all of this is going to get rearranged. So don't be concerned that the Colorado blue spruce is hiding, say, a hosta behind it, because I'm going to adjust for that. We're just not going to do that today, which actually this whole bed works out because see, like I have a wiggles and squiggles, so that needs to be moved. I have a brunnera, I have a euchera, I have a fern. All of that is going to get rearranged, dug up, and transplanted either in this bed or another space. Same thing for over here with the Kodiak orange, because I want the Kodiak orange basically to be centered between the Sun King and my white by the gate. That way it brings balance. It's gonna be like a 3 to 4 tall and wide. So don't fret, my pet. This wiggles and squiggles is going to get moved. This stunning hellebore is going to get moved. And my 2 ghost ferns are going to get moved. I know the ghost ferns are probably already, they're gonna come out and they're gonna come somewhere closer down to here so they can have that beautiful color contrast with the Sun King. So, and then that way I can get more sun here around the base of my camellia. So that's where that's gonna go. And plus, I wanna make sure that the Davila is not too far out. 1, because of the French drain line, but 2, because of the sun. So it'll get good sun right now, and then it's going to be getting in the shade in the afternoon, which is perfect because you can see how already the sun shade, this is the line and it's coming to it. So I know that it will all be fine because you can see, right, the camellia is in the shade already as well. And then coming on down, we have Miss Electra Blue here on the corner. So with this thought process is that she is going to give some evergreen structure to the front of the house. Very upright habit to it, and then it kind of plays off with our dwarf horseman over here. So we'll have 2 blue cedars on each side of the house, but they are different. So you can see that we have enough space between the tree and the house that we're not going to have a problem with it growing into the house. The Electra Blue is a very slow growing cedar, so that works out very nicely for us and can handle our heat and humidity. It can handle the clay soil that we naturally have. And so you can see that Jerry placed it kind of close here on the line. So we're going to be hand digging this, I'm thinking, or using the power planter very carefully to make sure that we avoid all lines there. But you can see that we'll have plenty of room here to do the boxwoods and the abelias that we're going to be putting in here. So we've got plenty of room for that.
The other thing we can do.
Let me get on my camera.
No, that's how I was thinking with the tree, because I had kind of planned on this, was that we still have some room to build up right there. So we may not, it may sit high when we first plant it, and then we'll build around it.
Perfect. So there's the plan. Build up, shed down, right? Yes. But it's almost lunchtime. So we're going to eat lunch, get some fuel back in our bodies, and then we're going to come back and plant. Right?
Yep.
Okay, that's what we're going to do. See you back here in a minute. My friends, today's project is complete. It's crazy. This place is starting to take some shape, getting these bones in, and I tell you, it makes a huge difference putting the land and sea down, because getting out of the red clay, which looks like it just screams construction, but then when you put the beautiful color of the land and sea down, then it starts to say, hey, I'm a garden bed. So visually for me, it makes a huge difference, and my mind can start dreaming and thinking of plants as a garden, as opposed to like a construction zone. But we very much are still in the construction zone. More about that in a minute. So let me show you how everybody looks. Now, for a reference, it is about 2:15 in the afternoon, early mid-September. So it kind of gives you an idea of the sun, because when we first started, obviously we were in full sun, and now we're transitioning into shade. Because here in the South, what we always talk about and we're most concerned about is what kind of sun conditions are your plants in the afternoon in the summer, right? Because that is the most intense heat, and so we need to make sure that those sensitive plants, hardiness zone sensitive plants, get a break. So just to kind of give you that point of reference. So there's Electra. I'll show my age, I guess. I want to say like Carmen Electra, but it's Electra Blue. So there she is, and I say she's a she. There you go. On the side of the house, as I'm tripping over some construction stuff over here. So she is a really good size. She is not, she should not, according to all statistics, outgrow this space. Slow grower, responds well to being pruned. Maximum was supposed to be at 8 feet. I think she's at 8 feet plus a little bit. So I'm hoping now she just kind of fluffs up some. So we have plans on planting around her. More about that in the coming days. So then as we come through, you can see, oh, as a side note, she wants to be full sun, right? So she's already in those 6 to 9. So she is going to be in that full sun, because that corner of the house right here is going to get that hot afternoon, really all day sun. And so that is perfectly fine. It can handle it, loves those conditions with that really rich soil, but it has to be well draining. And this is going to be well draining for sure. So Electra Blue should do just great. And then as we move on down, you can see that the other 3 shrubs are in the shade, which is going to be perfect, y'all. This is the time of the day when really I love to be in this garden, because it is in the shade. So we've got the Kodiak orange, and roughly, right, not perfectly, but roughly, it's all right, space between the Aurelia Sun King and then my white by the gate camellia. So we've got space there. Again, all these perennials basically are going to be moved. So it's a little, you just got to use your imagination, y'all. And so this is what's kind of hard for me, that we did go ahead and rip out the annuals, because visually for me, I was getting a little stuck even with all the plants in there, and the annuals only have, you know, I don't know what, a month, 6 weeks left. And so by that time, everything's going to get moved anyway. So they're going to have to come out. So it just helped me visually to see this space without the annuals in there. So we did go ahead and pull those out. And so there you go. But I do know, like I said earlier, for sure, these 2 ghost ferns, they're going to come up, and they're going to come somewhere, at least one of them in here, somewhere around here. But I've got the euchera, I've got a poor Litten rose right here that every year gets smothered by the Sun King. Obviously that needs to come out. There's a fern back here that needs to be moved. My Brunnera, it would be great. It can just be kind of like move forward. So there's all sorts of things that are going to get moved around here. And then the Colorado blue spruce, y'all. I just love this. I really, really do. I'm so excited about this little dwarf. I'm going to call it a tree, because it's a dwarf spruce. So at that 3x3, it'll get the sun to keep that blue coloring, but as you can see, it is in the shade, so it's going to do really well. We'll put some fun colors around that, so it really pops off of that blue. In fact, speaking of, tomorrow I have a delivery coming. Y'all, I'm just as bad as you are. I go to a nursery, we go to Stowe's, I find plants, I can't help myself. I go online to other online e-commerce nurseries, I can't help myself. So I have a whole delivery of plants coming from, it's actually another nursery here in North Carolina. And so I'll share that with you too later on this week. So there are things in there that are so exciting. They're going to go into this bed as well that will help play off of this Colorado blue spruce. So if you're looking to like slow your roll on how many plants you're buying, you've come to the wrong place. I am not your girl for that. And then here we go. Paisley Pup. So Paisley Pup is an interesting spot, which will do really well because I'm so excited that we put her here on the corner. Because remember, she was in that unique stone container right here, so it really got literally the exact same growing conditions and sun conditions, I would say rather, as it does here. So it's full morning sun, then it gets a break, and then because of the way our roof line is, I can show it to you without blinding you. See, there's that gap right there. So then it gets, I don't know, maybe an hour of the afternoon sun from like 1 to 2, and now it's going back into the shade. So it can handle it. And Paisley Pup does really well in like moist conditions. So it'll grow, the The more water you give it, the faster it grows. So with this one, we did not like raise up the root ball. I really kept it even. And then as you saw, everybody got a bag of Land and Sea as a top dress. Electra got 2 bags because it was bigger. So everybody got top dress with that Land and Sea. Now, when the whole bed is completely done, then we will come back through with our mulch and everybody will get a nice top dress. Like the entire bed will get a top dress of mulch. Really probably don't see that happening until like we get our first like frost freeze and like all the perennials have been moved, everything's died back down, or maybe I just go ahead and cut things down so that way I can do it one time and it's all clean and it looks good. But I feel so excited to have this done. It just is going to be absolutely stunning. Now I told you that we might go ahead and plant 2 hydrangeas in here. Yeah, well, it's 2 o'clock and I gotta go to the grocery store because I gotta feed my family tonight. So we're not gonna do those hydrangeas today, but we will do that later on because I wanna get these plants in the ground as soon as we possibly can, right? I preach this over and over and over and over again. You're probably sick of me, but I'm gonna like beat it into your head that if you're in the South, if you're in these warm zones, I would say 7 and higher, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever you are, the fall is the absolute best time to be adding these trees, shrubs, perennials to your garden. It is absolutely easier on the plant. It is easier on you. Can you plant, could we plant this in May, June, even July? Yeah, we could, but it's going to put more stress on the plants and it puts more stress on us as far as maintaining it. So this is I'm going to say the smart way to do it. Not the lazy way, we're going to say the smart way to do it. It is not lazy, it's just smart way because Jerry's like, it's not lazy. It's not lazy, but it does a lot less work on us when we plant now as opposed to the warmer months. So what I do want you to do is come back tomorrow because y'all, if you have been following along with this whole front yard landscape redesign, oh my gosh. Okay, so as a teaser, this portion of the patio is done. It is gorgeous. I'm going to show it to you up close tomorrow. So that is done. The reason that you have not seen Brenna, other than the little bit of Brenna cam with her being in Johnny, is because Saturday, Chandler and Israel came and graded the sidewalk. So this is the like final grade for the stones to go on top of the sidewalk. Remember we talked about it, how it is the, I think this is 89 gravel, so it's very, very fine gravel, and you can see how perfectly smooth it is. The best way to destroy that is to let a 90-pound German Shepherd run through it. I would have some very unhappy men on my hands if I did that. So she has been confined to Johnny all day, which she's fine with, y'all. The dog loves being in that machine. Even if I didn't have her leashed to it, she would still be in there. So that's where Brenna has been. So tomorrow, Chandler, Israel, I think our guys, I think more guys, we're gonna have people crawling all over this place, working on both this and, as a teaser, the edging curbing just arrived. So they're gonna start installing that tomorrow as well. So come back tomorrow. It is going to be a hub of activity. And so we're gonna share that with you. Yeah, it's gonna be lots and lots of fun. Start to see all the pieces start to kind of come together. As always, we hope you found this fun, informative, inspirational. If you have, we would love it if you would like and subscribe, and y'all share it. Share this video with your friends and your families. Whoever you think would like gardening, we would love it if you would share it because that helps us out with these videos. That's the best way to support us long distance. So as always, we greatly appreciate you. Hopefully the weather is beginning to change where you are. Like I said, we're in long sleeves and jeans. Yeah, it got a little toasty, but it is dry, beautiful air. And tomorrow the low, like in the morning, it's like 52, which for us, we're like, yes. So we'll see you back tomorrow. Bye, guys.